Hi everyone. I just wanted to talk to you now about a couple different myths that are associated with food. The little baby just woke up. He's a little groggy. One of them being that sugar causes high blood sugar. I know that sounds like a crazy thing to say isn't true. And I guess you couldn't have the issues of high blood sugar completely without sugar. But, sorry I'm so close to the camera. But you also couldn't have them without fat. And the thing is that when you consume a diet that's high in sugar, your blood knows how to digest natural sugars, or your body knows how, but it can't do it if you have fat in your diet. Think of your cell as, I'm going to draw a picture because why not? Okay, so this is your cell. I don't know why it kind of looks like a penis, but it's your cell. So this is your cell, and these are little sugary molecules, and they usually can go in and go out. And that's it. And there's no high blood sugar because they go in and out, and your cells, blood cells, absorb all the nutrients they need, and the sugar goes back out of your cells, and eventually you pee and poop, and then you're fine. Now, when you have a diet that's high in fat, this is your cell. This one looks less like a penis, but it's kind of surrounded with fat. All this squiggle is fat, and your cells literally are lined with fat. So now, when you eat sugar, it tries to come in, and then it gets stuck, and it gets in slowly, and it gets in here, and it's trying to get out, but all this fat is blocking. This is a really great diagram. But anyway, so the sugar comes in, and then it goes in here. All these little dots are sugar. And it's trying to get out, but there's all the fat blocking it. So it gets out slower, but more sugar keeps coming in. And this sugar is still not out. So it gets full and full and full and full of sugar. And then that's why you have high blood sugar, because the sugar cannot go in and out of your cells as efficiently when your cells are lined with fat. So if you eliminate, I have like a cat hair poking my nose. If you eliminate the fat, then the sugar is not an issue. And I'm actually going to reference, this is the 80-10-10 book again, and it covers all of these topics really accurately. So, sugars start out in the digestive tract when we eat them. They pass through the intestinal wall into the bloodstream. Then they move smoothly and easily out of the bloodstream and into our cells. This occurs often rapidly and in minutes. It occurs rapidly, often in minutes. When we eat a high-fat diet, the sugar gets trapped in the stage 2, where it goes into the bloodstream because the fat keeps it from getting out, like I showed you. So that's why the issue is the fat, not the sugar, because you need all the nutrition from fruit. And if you avoid consuming it because instead you're consuming fats, then you're missing out on all that nutrients, and you're also clogging your arteries and leading to all these other problems. Another myth that 80-10-10 talks about is that high-fat, low-carb diets raise insulin levels. Oh, that's not a myth. That's the truth. I'm just kidding. And that's a really bad trap that people fall into. I fell into it very badly, trying to do a ketogenic diet. I tried to do a vegan ketogenic diet, which basically meant eating avocados and like cauliflower and vegetables sauteed in way too much oil, because ketogenic diets rely on fat instead of carbs, and it was very unhealthy. I felt very lethargic, and yes, I lost weight, but you will lose weight doing things healthy just as well, except that you'll keep it off. That's the big difference between doing something like a low carb diet and doing something like a plant-based diet. So let's see. So yes, high fat, low carb diets do raise insulin levels. There's a couple different statistics here. One says a quarter pound of beef raises insulin levels in diabetics as much as a quarter pound of straight sugar. So again, that's just proving that sugar isn't the problem. Cheese and beef elevate insulin levels higher than dreaded high carbohydrate foods like pasta. So these are all like really rough things for people to grasp, that there's this paradigm that people have absorbed information under, and they only really are open to information that fits into this way of thinking they've already met. And I'm challenging you to break out of that. I'm sorry, I keep looking at myself instead of the camera. But really, I challenge you to break free of that and don't bother caring about the people that aren't ready to do it, because people will always try and knock you down when you make positive changes for yourself that they are not willing to make. But you are in this group because you know it's time for you to stick to your guns and make a change and change your life. So just become a sponge full of knowledge and just present it to anybody willing to listen, and don't bother with anybody else. So I want to go to a different one that is really helpful. There's a couple different ones. If you're interested in candida, I can give you more information on that. I'm not going to focus on it right now because I haven't heard anybody talk too much about it. Let's see. I want to look at the one on diabetes really quick. I'm not finding that. There's a part about the acid indigestion myth where people believe that fruit causes indigestion. And when a person eats a healthy, simple meal, it leaves the stomach rapidly, usually in less than an hour. Difficult to digest foods can stay in the stomach for up to 24 hours. So often when people eat like a heavy dinner, then in the morning when they eat fruit, they get indigestion and they blame it on the fruit. But it's really because the dinner sits in your stomach much longer, and the fruit kind of just starts things moving again, and that'll give you acid reflux or different kinds of indigestion. Let's see what else about. Well, yes, if we eat low fat, the sugar in fruits and other natural sugars pass freely in and out of your bloodstream, which I know I've said that already, but I just want to stress that all the time, because my grandmother just now is in the process of curing her diabetes, eating a low-fat diet, and she had really believed that a low-carb diet was the way to help her, but she's now learning that it isn't, and she's in the process of slowly reducing her insulin and eventually getting off of it completely. So that's like just an amazing misconception that I hope to help people break. there's a bunch of different things in here, but fruit and tooth decay is a funny one because yes, fruit is not fruit, but acid is not the best thing for your teeth, but it's not going to cause tooth decay. If you take care of your teeth the way that you normally would, your mouth will be fine when it comes to eating a lot of fruit. The only thing that I ever do extra when it comes to fruit is I drink lemon water every morning, and I will rinse my mouth after that. Don't brush after, because brushing in general is kind of hard on your enamel, but when you have acid in your mouth, it's worse. But I just swish with water and spit it out and wait to brush until much later. But some people don't even do that. So, no. Acidic fruits do not rot your teeth. Brushing right after you eat them will, but that's about it. So those are kind of just the quick things I wanted to talk about in regards to food myths. I will go into the protein myth in a separate video because it deserves its own video. But for now, if you're watching this and you run into the where do you get your protein question, it's easier for people eating plant-based to answer that because you can just say, oh, beans, you know, I get them from beans, legumes, chickpeas, etc. But truly, I'm a firm believer that all of the protein that you need can be found in plants, and I do not consume protein supplements. I consume fruit and greens, and that's almost the extent of it. The occasional nuts, if they're in something pre-made, once in a while I'll make a dressing with them. But for me, I find that I feel my best when I keep nuts out of my diet. So I mostly just eat fruit and greens, which if you've seen me posting my food intake for the day, I always really just have had some celery, once in a while avocado, but other than that, fruit and greens. And I'm not protein deficient. I am healthy and happy, and it's a direct result of eating raw. So again, I'll do another video on protein to help you understand why the world seems to want to force protein down your throat. Again, leave me any comments, questions you have, and I will do the best to answer them. And I guess that's it for this video. Have a lovely evening, and I will see you all soon. Bye.